Hello everybody and welcome to the first round of the Open Wheel Championship here in the IVRC Championships. My name is Miguel Moronta and I'm here commentating for you the opening round of this championship. The first ever round indeed, because it's the first time we're organizing this event. And as you can see, the qualifying is now ending as the clock goes down to 0. Right now Lucas Murno, one of the entries which haven't been present throughout this 2020 year a lot, is rounding off the final corner. He's in second place right now. He was in pole a few moments ago. Goes second, 26 thousandths behind Sven Gilhood, who's right now on pole, by the way. We have a few names which are probably not the most known, because it's not someone. Some people haven't been participating this year, as I've said before. And if you haven't seen already, we're here at the Watkins Glen circuit. Beautiful Watkins Glen. Obviously, this Open Wheel Championship is based in America, mostly. We'll have a few rounds outside the continent, but right now, still it is America. Still, it's over the Atlantic Ocean. Pretty much the championship is staying the same, with Sven Gilhood being at the top. Qualifying's now ending. Sven Gilhood will probably get pole, as the rest of the people are around, well, 1 second behind. And yeah, I forgot about one thing. Yeah, you can see here the OS front row team has 4 drivers, I think, or around 4 drivers. I'm going to check the wiki for that. And I'm gonna tell you, the OS front row has 3 drivers, and they are all 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for Brazil. Andrew Leite, Felipe Muniz, and Lucas Miranda. There's a lot of, as I said, kind of known names. There's people who aren't as known, who don't participate as much. For example, we've got, well, who doesn't participate? Yeah, this Brazilian guys don't participate that much. Yeah, we've got yesterday's TCC race winner, Richard Wonders, number 27 in the blue and black Moronta racing car. Of course, we've got Max Verka, Vasquez, and Kenneth Ragland are present as well. We're going to quickly check the starting grid with Sven Gilhood in first, and then Lucas Murno, Antonio Sayas, and Lucas Miranda, the US front row, as said, on all 3 cars in the top 4. Then we have Andrea Leite. Wait. Lucas Murno is not from OS. Sorry for the confusion. I'm terribly sorry for that. Well, all 3 cars in the top 5, that's still very good. Pedro Lopez for Bravo in 6th. Then we have Jesus Quirinos in 7th. Joe Gazet, or however it is pronounced, in 8th. Michael Tickman in 9th, with Pablo Lopez in 10th. Then Jonatas Berta, Carlos Frau, Alfie Bevan, Bernard Ambrose, Richard Wonders, who's not performing as good as he did yesterday. Then Mark Verka, really far off the grid. Vasquez, McDonald, Teglas, Holohan, Vers Johnson, Muniz, and Ragland will start in last. He hasn't made a flying lap, although he started a few laps. Oh, Saulius Laurenavicius has just joined, by the way. So that seems to be the starting grid, and now we have to wait, because I think I'm pretty sure they're going to make a warm up. So the lap is going to be 48 laps. The race, sorry, is going to be 48 laps around this Watkins Glen circuit, an amazing venue, start of the season. Warm up right now, 5 minutes to warm up, to practice starts, to do anything you want in track, probably to practice for the race. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty exciting, although the gap from 1st to 3rd is 1 second, but no, it can be close at the back. There's a what car is that? Laszlo Teklas? very interesting design by the SL Racing team. I think Laszlo will be last indeed, or not. I don't know. Very interesting livery, which reminds me of those 1990s Penske's. Does remind me to that. Although I don't know that's pretty much. I'm pretty sure that is the what they want to remind you about, because it looks pretty much like those 90s Penske's as Vers Janssen spins exiting the pit lane. Very good livery here. I like this one a lot. I'd like to see your opinion, guys, in the YouTube chat. Very interested in knowing that one. As he now goes onto the wall, but okay. It is Vers Janssen in the FRA. Ragland, who also stopped right there. Is a Stickman doing some crazy things on the pit lane, warming up the tires or whatever he was doing. There's a car flying on the front. Stickman stuck into someone else. Pablo Lopez, the only entry for Rotodos today, it seems. I don't see anyone else. Moronta Racing also has a few more entries, but they aren't coming for now. Livery, blue and black, it stands out, it looks like. A lot of white liveries, which doesn't help me, but you know, they haven't had time, they forgot to send it. Who knows? Yeah, I'm enjoying I enjoy seeing this car. I'm not gonna lie. Felipe Muniz and Kenneth Ragland. A lot of cars have the black and one color combination. They have it in different ways though, but some they've taken. Oh, and Angel Gonzalez now joins, and it's going to be 26. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 26 now, or 25. Already a lot. See, some are still doing laps to practice a little bit, I guess. Over the curve and into the runoff area goes Pablo Lopez on board with the Spaniard. It is a very good circuit, as I said. Starting the championship Watkins Glen, it wasn't the original plan, but you know, it is a very good venue to start off, and I think we're going to have a very good fun. We're going to have some good fun today. Carlos Frau stuck in the garage. Alfie Beeman has no skin. I'd really like to see 26 cars today, although that's a very big amount, but we have 25 still. As there are some people who are having to share a pitbox. That's going to be a big problem. Pablo Lopez right now third on the warm-up timesheets with the 1:37.2. The final lap he's going to be able to make. Stay with him throughout the loop section. The chain goes from turn 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now the loop in 9. Into the boot they go. The boot section. Left, right. Coming up right now, 180 degrees long turn. Very, very good circuit. Very fun for drivers. Got Lucas Murno behind. Right now in the fastest lap times, and the servers changed session. So we should be expecting to start the race in a few moments. Yes, indeed. 48 laps this is going to be. I don't know whether there's going to be a formation lap or not. Oh god. Yeah, sharing pit box. That's the big problem right now. That's gonna be a big issue for later on, but they'll try to sort it out, I guess. A few cars were flying around, and Disco Vasquez is the only car right now on the grid. And there's going to be a formation lap, indeed. Gonna be a formation lap. There is the safety car. Going to go on board with Sven Gilhood, championship leader in the Touring Car Championship by, I think, should be 1 point. Or I'm not really sure after yesterday because of the penalties and all that, but should be first. That's also leading the GTE Championship in the WEC World Endurance Championship. As the formation lap starts, and I think this is going to be a rolling start, which I didn't know whether it was going to be a rolling start or a standing start. I had to doubt, but like it's going to be a rolling start for now. They reset as they had to do yesterday. Look throughout the grid. Burkhardt didn't go to the grid. Sverk is going to start from the pit lane, it looks like. Right now, going to be 25 entries. Angel Gonzalez rounding off the grid. Who's going to take the victory? Sven Gilhood is surely in the top spot to do that. Prime spot. We've got Lucas Murno with that helmet design. I think a few drivers have helmet design. There's been one spin, and that's Lucas Miranda. And there's been contact made with some other cars. And related as well. I think he's stuck in the curves. He's unstuck the car. I think they should wait, but they're not keen on waiting. They've made a mistake, so they're pretty much right to continue. Pedro Lopez, 6th. Programmed to start in 6th. He's right now on 4th on the queue. As Grinos has been overtaken by a few cars. One of them being Pablo Lopez. And there's another car in the middle there. I think it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be anyone overtaking, but Underlater who's ahead, or no, Underlater is behind. So who's that? No, Gauzitis, but where's Gauzitis starting? He's 8th. Yeah, Carinas is behind Lopez. He shouldn't be. Carinas overtaking Lopez now, and Tigman has to overtake Lopez as well. They're not in formation. They're not in the positions they should be. Mostly they aren't. Then my question is this going to be a standing start or a rolling start? Because if it's a standing start, they might be able to go onto their position. But my question now, is the safety car going to go? Question, the safety car's coming in. It looks like it's going to be... Yeah. My image freezes. And it's go time for the OWC Championship here in the IVRC Championships. Sven Gilhood leads into turn number 1 from Lucas Murno. Lopez and Isaias are behind us. There's a lot of contact behind mayhem in turn 1 as there's one I think that was Quirino's spun round. Lopez has lost positions and still there has been spins all around him. Berto and Vasquez, very good starts from them. Gauss just stays in 8th as Warners goes up into 7th, but right now Gilhood and Murno fighting for first and they're launching off ahead of the rest of the pack. Isaias leads the rest of the grid, the best of the rest race, ahead of Pedro Lopez, Alfie Bevan, who has come up from 13th. Dive bombing Pedro Lopez. I'm going to have a big issue with the surnames here. Pedro Lopez dive bombing him to try and snatch the position back. Tickman is trying to get ahead of Bevan as they are in the boot right now. The slipstream, he's going to try and go around the outside in turn number 12, I think that is. Yeah, turn number 12. Warners stays in 7th, 8 positions for him as well. Right now, the lead, almost in the final corner. First lap almost completed. Lap 1 of 48 is now finished, we can say officially, more or less. And Sven Gilhood leads half a second ahead of Lucas Moronta. Tony says, and are 2.5 seconds behind Gilhood. Then Lopez, Vivan, Tickman, Wonders, Vasquez, Gausitis, Lopez, Evers, Johnson, Verto, Frau, Ragland, McDonald, Miranda, Muniz. And out, and then later, and I'm missing people. Lauren Vicious, without the rear wing, has not finished lap 1 just yet. M. Ross has had to pit as well. Holohan down in 23rd, and Sverk is making up places as fast as he can. He's now fighting Gonzalez for 21st position. On board with the German. Round the outside, he's going to try and go into the loop. It's a very risky overtake, risky maneuver. They don't leave as much space as they would. They make a little bit of contact now, going into the boot. Going to switch into the first place fight because they're still very close, although Sven has got a little bit of the upper hand. Murno looking like he's not going to attack just yet, or he's not pushing. And the rest are pretty much a year behind because the 5th place man, Michael Tickman, is around 6 seconds behind Lucas Murno, Sven Gilhood. Sven Gilhood leading around 6.5 seconds probably behind, as Bevan is behind Tickman now, and Wonders is looking at that fight and saying, hey guys, I want to join. Gausdit is in 8th, being chased down by Vasquez. I think they have switched positions though, or no, they haven't, sorry. Lopez is the one trying to catch into that 8th and 9th place people. Then Frau in 11th, he's made up some places. Lauren Officius doesn't finish the race, has retired already, as there's contact behind. That's John McDonald and Jonatas Berto, and also they catch up into Laszlo Teglas. That's one of the Bravo cars, Jonathan Holohan. Angel Gonzalez has also made contact, and Teglas was a spawn round, as the first Johnson is down in penultimate place of the runners, and Emros is in 24th and last. Lauren Vicious has had to DNF. This is the fight for the lead again. Sven Gilhood trying to maintain the position. And right now he's creating somewhat of a gap between him and Murno. You can see on the back, the 3rd and 4th places are not that close. It is still Isaias and what's it? No, it wasn't Berto. It was Lopez, Pedro Lopez. Sigman closing in or trying to close in, as Alfie Bevan has lost a bit of ground, and by a bit 3 seconds he's lost. The Welsh driver being chased down by Richard Wonders in 7th. Isaias and Lopez, who might have a big fight. There was a front wing on the runoff on the grass there, as Lopez takes the slipstream. Is he going to try and launch a move into the loop, into the chicane? Fast right, left, right. Doesn't do it. Now into the outside. This outside corner. Where do you go to the outside, should I say? Which is most of the corners though. Into the boot again. On board with the Brazilian. 6 tenths and a half. A little bit more. Separating him from Antonio Zayas. On the slipstream, going to turn number 12 again. He's got a little bit of a gap, as I say. I think this front fight is pretty much a little bit of a technical, not technical, but a psychological fight. That was Amros. Amros has lost the front wing again. Bernard Amros has lost the front wing again. As my camera's kind of frozen again. A lot of issues though. Into the main straight and to number 5 they go. Gilhood's still leading. Amros has been lapped. Of course, he's having a lot of issues. On board with the Polish driver. Vers Jansen is also having a lot of issues. The Danish driver. Teglas, 2.5 seconds behind his next competitor, which I think is Jonathan Holohan, not Verto. McDonald is trying to catch up to later. Very good qualifying from later, but he's fallen off the order. Burkap into 16th, where he was originally starting on the grid. Gonzalez has made a little bit of a gap. Kirinos and Raglan are catching up to Vasquez. Vasquez has lost a lot of positions now. Down the inside is going to try and go Raglan. No, he isn't. He thinks about it a little bit more. And onto the grass has gone Vasquez. I've missed that one because of the image freezing for me. Into the wall went, and what's Raglan doing? I think Raglan forgot what track it was. He's crashed and he might be out. He's stuck in the curve. Raglan has forgot it was a long layout, not a short layout. Belka up into 15th now. There any fight around here? Wonders has lost a position to Gauzitis. Third place from the American driver. That's Bevan spinning round ahead of him. And that's going to make Pablo Lopez go up into 8th as well. Pablo Lopez up into 8th, Wonders up into 7th again, and Vivan seems to have no damage whatsoever. Right now, standing order, and as Lopez and Isaias, a lot of movement from Lopez on the straight, trying to break the toe from Isaias. Lopez has gone through though. But Isaias doing a better line, going to keep it. On the inside, he's going to try and go into the number 10. No, he isn't. The boot fighting they are. Very close, going Isaias on all these corners, trying different lines. Try and get a little bit of an advantage, trying to escape from the dirty earth, from brakes getting the toe. Down the inside goes Isaias into turn number 12, exiting the boot more or less. Didn't get it. Lopez had enough momentum to keep it. There's a bit of a time mark because of some spins. And behind them, maybe Ragland has DNF as well as Vers Johnson, by the way. So Lopez and Emros is still going for Severance. And Tickman is looking at this fight and taking him. He knows there's a podium available ahead. Just needs to keep it together. Gausit is up into 6th, as I said. Lopez trying to catch up into Wonders, but we're back to the fight. Into the strike they go. Going to be a big move here. Lopez making a lot of change of positions. He committed to the inside line once. Not very clean moves from the Brazilian driver. Brazilian against Brazilian. The big fight. As he's going to try and get the inside for number 10. No, he doesn't. He's way too far off. Not the greatest line from Lopez. Turn number 10 though into 11. Isaias trying to get momentum to go around the outside. They touch each other a little bit. I think there was a little bit of contact there. Almost losing the backhand. Isaias is going to try and make him move into turn number 12 again. He breaks really late on every corner. Not as Lopez. Lopez is keeping it together, but breaking earlier than Isaias. He's making a little bit of lift and coast. Having a little bit of feel probably. We don't know when they will make their pit stops. Moronta and Gilhood still fighting here. The only drivers to stay on a 130 pace. As the rest of the people are on a 131 or slower. On board with the Brazilian driver Murno, taking the slipstream from Gilhood. Haven't focused on this fight too much. Going over the curve here in the gain part. Going into the boot, they're going to go right now. Lucas Murno knows how to win. I think it was him that won the 2019 LMP1 championship in the WEC. Back racing, we've missed him kind of because he's not in the WEC, not in the TCC. At least not that he's attended, I think. I think he was in Daytona though. Great camera angle there, as trying to chase Sven Gilhood. Not making a big difference. He was starting to create a gap back in lap number 3 and number 4. And now he's stuck there with Murno behind. And we have a little bit of a fight. Lopez has gone through Warnders. I went through the wrong camera, sorry. Warnders is he going to try and make up the position on the main straight? He's really close behind. He should save the move for turn number 1. Don't think about it moving to turn number 14. That's very dangerous, a very high chance of not happening. More likely to happen a crash right there. On the slipstream now, into turn number 1. Is he going to try and launch a move, brake late, down the inside? No, he's not. Now got a long full throttle section. Go into the chicane of 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right behind Lopez. Saying Lopez because of the sponsor behind of his Twitch channel. And on the straight, side by side, down the inside, is he going to go? Lopez maintains the position. Looks like they're having a great fight. They're not on the low drag aero kit, as are some of the other drivers. Berka's down to 18th, by the way. He's losing positions. Down to 19th now. Jonatas Berto has DNF'd. Or John Berto, whatever. I don't know whether it was Jonatas or not, but Jonatas Berto, Carlos Frau here, 9th. Back to the front. It's 1 second now. Sven Gilhood ahead of Murno as he sets the fastest lap of the race, probably 1:30.0. Can he go down to 1:29? We didn't see a 1:29 in qualifying though. Will he go down there? That's my question. As he's 1.3 seconds ahead now, and Murno has to focus because he's getting away. Getting away here in lap number 10 out of the 48 laps, which will make up this first round of the OWC Championship. Amazing racing we're seeing right now. A lot of crashes, a lot of mayhem. But for the most of it, after that, it's being some kind of clean racing. And Tigman has gone through Isaias as well. As Lopez has now have a little bit of breathing space behind. He's pretty much in no man's land. 9 seconds behind Murno, his teammate, and 5 seconds more or less ahead of Tigman. As Warnders is now ahead of Lopez, and Frau wants to join this fight. Frau looking to join this amazing fight. Warnders trying to go round the inside, round the outside was trying to go Lopez. Down the inside into turn number 11. Let's see if this works out. On board with Lopez. I think he starts Wonders or very close that was. Wonders has now lost a position on Frau looking right here. Very close these two guys are. The Dutch driver for Moronta, the Spanish driver for Rotodos. Up in the lead though, it's 2 seconds now the gap. Separating Sven Gilhout and Lucas Murno. The Brazilian driver ahead behind the Dutch driver for FRA. Lopez is still 9.5 seconds behind. We're back to the fight though, as there's been a little bit of a gap between Wonders and Lopez now, as Frau and Miranda are now fighting, and Frau loses the place to Miranda. Very good run down the back straight from the Brazilian from always front row. And now trying to catch up into Wonders. Very good starting position as well from Miranda. He was starting 4th, down to 9th, but he's making up the places back. To the boot, turn number 10, downhill left-hander. And lap number 11, Gilhout, 43 seconds ahead of Miranda already. Holohan has DNF'd. And I'm looking for some more fights around here. McDonald versus Vasquez. This can end up very badly. Might end up very badly. Eddie's McDonald. Oh, and spinning. What is Vasquez doing? He was weaving in while braking. What is this guy doing? Anyways, Angel has had some kind of issue because he was going very slow out of the corner, down in 14th. He would get 2 points though, so he might be happy after joining last minute. Not as happy as would be later if he kept his position off the start. But that was Pablo Lopez pitting. So Pablo Lopez goes into the pits. First pit stop of the race. First planned pit stop, should we say. Because the rest of the pit stops were because of accidents. Still running. 19 cars. Emros. Lap down of everybody, more or less. Except for Teglas. Teglas was in 18th. At least he's still in the race. He keeps the car alive. He brings it home. Not many DNFs for Teglas throughout the IVRC history though. So this is the big fight now. Miranda versus Frau versus Wonders. And Wonders was ahead of both of them. He's now behind both of them. Down the inside, is he going to try and go? He's not quite got the pace today to fight against them. Looking to go through Frau. He's got a better line in the corners. I think he's hit Frau. And Frau is off into the grass. I think Wonders hit the back of Frau. That might be a little bit of an illegal move. The stewards will be paying attention to that one later on. Lap number 13 he goes onto. And we've crossed the 25% of the race. First quarter of the race now done. Only 3 quarters to go. Should we say that like that to try and make it look better? Gilhout's still leading, 1.5 seconds. Murno has taken a little bit of pace bump as they're closing into lap Max Verka. Who would have said this? Sverka being lapped. No, that's Emros, but Emros is going to get lapped by his Emros just got lapped by Sverka, and Sverka is going to lap him. Sverka is going to get lapped, should we say. Lope is now 12 seconds behind second place Lucas Murno, and Tickman in 4th, lapping Laszlo Teglas. Isaias in 5th, then Gausitis, Wonders, Frau, Miranda, Vivan, Curinos, Leite, Gonzalez, McDonald, and Francisco Vasquez running off the top 15 in the point scoring zone. Oh, Miranda! Where's Miranda? I think Miranda's disconnected. Oh no, he's not. He's not disconnected, but behind. A lot of people on my image is not responding either. Where's Lucas Miranda? Lucas Miranda's nowhere. It seems. Lucas Miranda losing positions. He's nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Oh, now he is. Well, kind of. I can't see him. Neither you can because you're watching the same as I am. And where's Frau? I think Frau's pitted as well. Lopez, the only one who's pitted right now, and Vasquez has had some kind of issue. Going to watch a replay here. He was fighting with Lopez and he went onto a wall. And he's now got a big issue here. He's stopped on the track. Turn number 12 this is. And he's now off the grass. On stag now. As he spins round again. This is very dangerous. If the race leader goes around, he has to be aware of that. I think the race leader has gone through already. Yes, he has. Indeed, he has. And now, where's Frau? Where's Frau going out? He's behind Angel Gonzalez. Where's Pablo? Pablo Lopez is in 15th. And Frau is in 13th. Lopez has lost a lot of time. Probably fighting Vasquez. Useless fight, I should say. But losing time is losing time, though. McDonald ahead with a pit stop yet to do. McDonald ahead of Lopez. Grinos in 11th. Fighting under later. For 10th. The Brazilian defending 10th position from the Venezuelan. And into the pits he goes. No, he doesn't. He was going across the line. He entered the corner on the pit entry line. Line which you usually do for entering the pits, should we say, like that. I'm going to check the YouTube comments if anyone's saying anything. Show the fight for 7th. I'm going to show it, but I don't know where there's any fight. There's no more fight. I'm sorry if I missed it. I'm really sorry. Go FRA, go OS front row. A lot of people cheering for more people for some drivers. Here, relating Carino, someone's lost positions. That's Wonders. I think Warners has now pitted. Onto the grass he goes, not having the best of lines there, and Gonzalez closing in on the Dutch driver. Gonzalez, who's going to pit. Going to go down the inside of Wonders though. He tries to make a move. He does it. Nice move from Gonzalez. And now Frau is the next guy behind Wonders. Wonders has kept ahead of Frau, but Lopez has lost a lot of time. Was ahead of these two, remember. Into the lead fight we go now, and Murno has gone through Sven. Sven is going to pit, Murno is going to pit, so it's a fight to see who will take more fuel, or who will change the tires, or however you want to see it. 16 laps have gone, a third of the race, well, 16 laps are going to go. Third of the race. Sven Yilhut has not marked the pit stop, has unmarked it. No, he hasn't. We just can't see it from the outside, though. Are they going to pit, though? Sven looks like pitting. Murno looks like pitting. So they're both going into the pit. Same strategy for the two leaders. A little bit of an issue had Sven Yilhut. And that's Gonzalez having an issue to pit. Gonzalez having issues to pit. As Murno goes into the pits. Fight for the pit stop here is Van Yilhut and Lucas Murno. As Gonzalez is still having the issue. Very bad for Gonzalez. I think he can't pit. Cannot pit. Right behind these guys, he cannot have the pit stop done. I think Angel might have to retire after all. Oh! Well, he could take the pit stop now. Well, that's not how you pretend to do it, but okay. Of course, well, there was no more chance of doing anything else, but Sven Gilhood and Murno have gone out already, and Gilhood is back ahead of Murno. Dickman in fourth. They're all making their respective pit stops. I think there's cars flying still. And Alfie Beeben goes into the pit as well. Kurinos, Gauss it is, still staying out. Proud and Wonders, McDonald, Lopez. But where are these people going to be? Because of course you have to count on the drivers in the pits. Wonders is up into 9th. Where is Miranda? He's in 6th. I think Miranda hasn't pitted yet either. And he's got one of the FRAs behind, I think. Is it one of the FRAs? Yes, it's Joe Gavditis. Sayas in 5th. I think he hasn't pitted either. Tickman, Lopez, and Murno and Gilhood still here. Murno, who entered first, and seems like his pit stop got longer. Into lap number 18 of the race. There you go. Lucas Murno in 2nd right now. There's someone coming out of the pits. Maybe that was John McDonald. Lost positions. He's down into 14th. And the running order right now, Gilhood, Murno, Lopez, and the running order disappears. So we'll just call it a little bit later, should we say. Gilhood, 1.5 seconds already. He's just flying off. Completely flying ahead of Murno. Million driver, and then the running order. Gilhood, Murno, Lopez in 3rd. Digman, Isaias, Miranda, Gausitis, Frau, Wonders. Lopez running up the top 10, and Kirinos, Viven later, McDonald and Sverka in 15th. Sverka. On very low positions. We're going to watch a little bit of him. He's pretty much in no man's land as well, having problems. A lot of problems, and Gonzalez has lost a lot of time with that pit stop issue. And also Vasquez DNF'd, a lot of people DNF'd, and you can see there the mess. The absolute mess, which was a pit stop thing for Gonzalez. But the fight goes on. Lucas Murno has taken off a second of Gilhood in the last 2 sectors of the circuit, and he's very close now. He's going to take the slipstream down this big acceleration zone, going through the S's. Uphill section, beautiful section to drive. And he's very close to the back. He's going to get slipstream for sure. Down into the chicane, they're going to go. Going to be a great move between them. No, it isn't, should we say. Leaders pit stop, yeah, they pitted already. They're both fighting now. Gilhood one few tenths ahead of Murno. Murno seems to have kicked up the pace, and he's now trying to find a move down the inside of the Tsunami 11 that wasn't going to work. And now he's right behind him. The 12th corner of the circuit now coming up. Covering up the inside line goes Van Gilhood. Around the outside is going to try and go Lucas Murno. And side by side this stay into turn number 13. Murno's got the inside now. He takes the inside line perfectly. And Murno is back ahead of Sven Gilhood as it was before the pit stops. Murno has taken up the pace. And he's now ahead of Gilhood. Very good racing from these two. As Gilhood now has to focus on trying to get the lead back from Murno. To the acceleration zone to go again. Is Sven going to get the slipstream? For sure he is. He's going to try and replicate the move as there's Angel Gonzalez right there on the middle of the track. He had some kind of spin possibly. You're not going to be able to make because of that. But Sven, he's going to try and get back some time, as he's now 1 second behind. He's losing a lot of time, Sven. What's happening to the Dutch driver? He was comfortably leading. Now he's lost the lead. Lost the lead to Lucas Moronta. He knows how to lead a race. He knows how to win a championship. Of course, this is the first race of the Open Wheel Championship, so we don't know what to expect from anybody. These two guys are simply dominating, and we hope to see something like this throughout the whole season. There's more fighting here for 6th place. Miranda versus Gauzitis. The FRA versus the OS front row. He's going to try and go on the chicane. Very close they are. A little bit of a different line. Not as good as the line from Miranda. As bad it was from Gauzitis. Frau behind them. Warners as well. Trying to catch up. Lopez is 10 seconds behind. He's not making the greatest of lines. As Carino's in 11th, later than Vivan, who's having a lot of issues. Amros goes through, he's lapped, and what's happening? I think he's stuck. Alfie's is stuck in the, as it happened to Vasquez. Alfie's is stuck on the circuit. Bad luck for the Welsh driver. Might have to DNF. There's only 18 cars running for now. It might be 17. He's still trying to make it, but it's stuck. It's completely stuck now. Alfie Bevan is out of the race. Sverker goes through. Sverker might say thank you very much for that one. John McDonald, 13th. Lopez in 10th, of course, and Tickman. Warren, Tickman is out. Tickman is out. What's happened to Tickman? Pitted, and he wasn't getting served, it looks like. Wasn't getting served, so Tickman is out. And Gonzalez trying to pit, I think. Oh, round he goes in the pit entry. I think he's overheated the rear tires, or he's got no more rear tires. And he's going to have the pit stop issue again. A lot of issues today. Tries to go into the pits. He doesn't get served again. It's going to be just like before. But Gilhood and Murno still fighting. Here you can see Sven getting close into the back straight. Very close. The Dutch driver is going to go. He knows how to win as well. He's won a lot of races now in a little bit of a year. Maybe he's been here half a year in IVRC. Onto the curves he go, mounting them. Loses a little bit of time on the chicane. He seems to gain elsewhere. Very close in the back he is now, but losing again a little bit of time. Looks like Murner dominates the boot section. Lap 22 out of 48. More than half an hour gone of this race. We have Solis and... oh god. Yeah, I didn't... yeah, wrong change of camera. That's Lucas and Sven still fighting. Lucas Miranda here in 5th. Carlos froze up into 7th because of Tickman's DNF. And Teglas is up into 14th now, and Emros, who didn't want to DNF, was just keeping it. He's up into the points already. So congrats to him, I guess. Finishing races does reward you with points most of the time. You can finish first if you can first finish, as Angel Gonzalez has also DNF'd, by the way. They're all three having a little bit of party, guess. Murno leading again. Miguel who close behind. Miguel who closing in into the main straight, into lap 24. They're going to go. Halfway point of the race. As Lucas Miranda and Lucas Miranda is ahead of Gauzitis. He's made a 3.5 second gap, very good from Miranda. Now wants to catch Isaias, some 15 seconds ahead of him. Brow ahead of Warners. Quirinos has overtaken Lopez, who might have made a mistake, and Warners keeping it in 8th. Good for the team. And yeah, later, very close to Lopez now. Remember, later started on. No, not Quirinos. Later, starting back in 5th. He's closing in. Pablo Lopez, Spanish driver, Rotodos. Looks very close here. Murno in 1.5 minutes ahead of the person who's running up the top 10. He might get lapped pretty soon, I guess. Berka, some minute behind Lopez. As there's the cars flying, and flying is later through Pablo Lopez. Side by side they go into turn number 1 to the 90. And later, it's through. Now Lopez is going to get the slipstream. Is Lopez going to try and fight back? Surely is. On the outside, he tried to go into the chicane, doesn't kind of work that way, and he now loses it from the back. I think he's got a little bit of extra heat on the rear tires, it looks like. Not being the greatest of races for some. Back to the lead though, it's still Gilhood behind Murno. Looks like it's going to be the fight for the whole race. There they go. Again, very close in the back. Gilhood catching in to the curve. Halfway point has been now crossed. You're on lap 25. Looks like it's going to be a big fight all the way through the end. They're catching into Lopez. They are. 130.6 at last lap from Murna was. Very good pace from these two again, as I said. There is Lopez, but Gilhood has got the slipstream. He's not close enough though. Can Murno get a little bit of a bigger gap and get away from the Dutch driver, who, remember, in the pit stops got ahead, so he needs a bigger gap in the pit stops if he wants to stay ahead of the driver. Murno keeping ahead, and they pit around lap 16, so if that was a full tank, or how as long as the tires lasted, that should be when they pit now, lap 32, so around 6 laps to go for these guys until their second and probably last pit stop. Very good image from the Murno and Gilhood still fighting. Very hard fight, very nicely fought from Dutch and the Brazilian driver. Into the chicane they're going to go very quickly. 410 separate them both. Again on the chicane, very good run from Murno. I think Sven is learning how to go through the chicane better, thanks to him. And now he's going to try and go through them, through Murno as soon as possible. You know, 6 laps to go again until their pit stops, I guess. And if that's as long as they can go, of course, which I don't know. Yellow flag ahead as there's one of the OS front row cars spun round, and that's Antonio Isaias who's stuck between the grass and the asphalt, and he's now out of that stuck. That stuck point, should I say. Lopez down in 11th. I think he's made his pit stop already. That's not good for Isaias. He's lost a lot of time. He's locking up the tire, and tires might be a lot really warm now, really hot. More than warm. Burka losing a lot of time. Tegla's also with a lot of time lost. Of course, Zemros trying to catch Tegla, so Emros could not finish last, maybe. Emros is fighting not to finish last right now. A 17 OHR 23 says, we have a good fight for P1. Yes, we do indeed. It's a very good fight here. You can see Gilhood keeping close to Murno's rear. And might he try the undercut? That's a big question. The undercut, for those who don't know, beating 1 lap earlier, 2 laps earlier, and taking advantage of the new tires. That's of course if you're fast enough to take an advantage from them, but then you have to take care of them 1 extra lap. And that's probably not the plan for Gilhood or Murno, but they have to think about switching this strategy in some way to try and get past, or try to stay ahead, depending on who you want to be in the story. Of course, Gilhood on board with the Dutch driver. 130.7 last lap, 131.0, so that's 3/10 quicker. Well, 2.5 from Gilhood. Goes wide, Lucas Murno. Murno's going wide at the most critical moment. And now Gilhood is right behind him. Into the back straight he's going to go. Might have to move. No, he doesn't. He's getting away. Murno is getting away in the straight. He's got a big power advantage or big advantage on the straight, however you want to see it. Let me check, because I think one of them has a different engine, and FRA has got Honda. No, always from no, always from Honda. This is Bravo, right? Yeah, Bravo has got Chevrolet, and FRA has got Honda. So they're fighting for it. Seems like Chevrolet has got a little bit of strength out of the budget right here. Out of the boot they go, and there's some yellow flag ahead. As that's one car who's crashed. White car. I don't know who that might be. Let me check quickly. Maybe that was John McDonald. No, that was Max Verka. Max Verka. And Pedro Lopez is thinking about a pit stop. 45 seconds ahead of Lucas Miranda. 45 seconds. Jesus Christ. Warner's pitting. Frau pitting. Frau goes out in the pits right now. Diaz Lopez in 11th, then McDonald's, Sverkup, Ermeros, and Teglas. That's the running order of the running cars right now. Muniz is in 23rd and 22nd flying, but of course DNF'd. 10 DNFs today. Least with Tigman, Bevan, Gonzalez, Vasquez, Holohan. The last 5 persons to have DNF'd. Of course, Muno is still leading, so he's not DNF'd. He doesn't plan to DNF. So Jonathan Berto, Muniz, Ragland, Evers Johnson, and Larina Vicious, the other 5 DNFs for today. There's one of the always front row cars, which might be later. It is later. And he's in front of Murno. He might be blocking his countryman. A little bit. Just a little bit. Right into lap number 31 they will go in a moment. And he seems to be blocking it. Seems to be blocking the man here. And into the main straight he should be able to feel the blue flags and to let him through. He's... Oh, they couldn't choose where they wanted to go, to be fair. They were both going to the same place at one moment. But losing the back end a little bit more now into the S's and the back straight after that. And Yilhood very close again. Is Murna going to still have this straight line advantage? That's the question now. He does have a little bit of an advantage, even with the slipstream. Yilhood is not able to go through. Chat, no new comments it seems. Lap 31 of 48, we're almost through the second third, should I say, of the race. Looking very tasty on the front. Not much more fighting around, it seems. We have Miranda and Gausset is fighting in 4th and 5th, a little bit, but 5 seconds apart. Rinos has just been lapped, so they're probably going to lap up to 4th position. They should be pitting rather soon. Mordno could go into the pits with the undercut to stay ahead of Gilhood, but Gilhood has got a big amount of pace. They're not pitting this lap, they might pit the next one. There's Laszlo Teglas ahead and a lapped car who might get out of the way pretty soon. There's Laszlo. Laszlo's not moving too much. And on the S's, that's not the greatest. Oh, and Mornos hit Teglas. Maybe Teglas wasn't looking. But it's not what you should do with lapped cars. You know, lapped cars should get out of the way, but you shouldn't get them out of the way. Or not like that, at least. So Stewart's probably going to have a look for both. One for ignoring blue flags, the other one for causing a collision. They might have a look. Might. But for now, of course, they're still here. Oh, and I gotta say I've lost complete image. This is a big issue. Actions complete.
User in your channel timed out. User entered your channel.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I had lost connection a little bit, so I've missed completely. I think Lucas Murno must have pitted, and Sven Gilhood still out there. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. I completely lost connection. I don't know what happened, and yeah, we've lost image. Completely lost image as well. Yeah, so I'm going to have to tell you what's happening, because of course we've completely lost it. Yeah. Okay, it's clear. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. I'm sorry for this. Um. Yeah. Let me put it back. How's it? Where and Sven's now pitting. Sven Gilhood now pitting, and terribly sorry for this inconvenience. Terribly sorry. And yeah, he's now pitting up in first. Dutch driver and Lucas Murno. I will have a guess. He might not go ahead of Sven Gilhood. Sven Gilhood has pitted in lap 35. No, 36. And Murno has to go really quick to be ahead of Sven. He's not going to be ahead of Sven. He's going to be around 3.5 seconds, probably more behind. 4 seconds is the gap. 4.5 behind Gilhood. Gilhood's won this by strategy. Gilhood's ahead because of his strategy. Very good managing from the Dutch driver, and now he's looking to lap Carlos Frau down in 6th. There's been some more problems, I think, for some more drivers, but Lopez is pretty much alone still. Fraud and Gausitis, Miranda, the running order, yeah, Gilhood, Bruno, Lopez, Miranda, Gausitis, Carlos Fraud, and Wonders. Top 7 for now. And there's not much fighting around other than the top 2. Or we're fighting as well as more or less, and they're very close. Sven Gilhood and Lucas Murnos. Sven must have made a mistake because they're very close. They were 4 seconds apart, and now they're very close. Lucas Murno going down the inside into turn number 12. Sven trying to maintain the outside line. He's not. We're going to have a look at what happened because they got very close, and I completely missed what happened. A little bit wide went Sven, and very good lines, more or less, from Murno. So he's now ahead with 1.5 seconds. Of course, Murno had warm tires, and Teklas gets out of the way this time. Murno had warm tires, and Sven is losing time. As the Brazilian driver leads lap number 36. It's 1.7 seconds, 1.8 now, the gap between Murno and Gilhood. Problems for Gilhood on the start, on the starting phase of this last stint for him. I've made him lose a little bit of time. I'm sure he can gain it back though. Give us a fight till the end. Not much fighting, as I said, through the rest of the pack. Miranda and Gausitis separated by 1.9 seconds as well. Very close these two guys are. On to the main straight they go into turn number 1. We're going to watch this because more no. First we're going to listen to it if I don't know if you're listening to the engine though. Gilhood has lost more terrain. 2.1 seconds now is the gap between him and Murno. Frau letting them through. Going very slow. He was on the apex though. He couldn't move out of there. Gilhood has lost some more time. A little bit for that. Now 2.3, 2.4 seconds almost. Gap is today. I don't know if you can still listen to me. You can. I'm having a lot of issues today with the connection to watch the race myself. But it keeps running for now. Not as before where the connection just went for me. I'm really sorry for that. Just a very big issue. But we still keep going though. Sven Yilhood, 1.7 seconds, 1.8 seconds behind the Bravo of Murno. Of course, Miranda and Gauzit is now 3.5 seconds. Quite a lot. There's no more fights around. Warners is still in 8th, has lost a position to Andrew later. And Lopez is up in 10th. Berka is in 12th. He will grab 4 points. German driver. He's not going to win this one right now, is he? Having a lot of issues with this one. Teglas in 15th. He's about to get lapped. He's getting blue flags. And we're back to the lead. Murno, 1.9 seconds gap. Go out of the boot. Number 13. That's right now. Gap 2.1 seconds. Very close between these two guys. Sorry for the silence. Going with the race of seeing cars go through. It's amazing this racing day. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. Up number 39 we are, and 2 seconds is now the gap. As it's 3 seconds between Miranda and Gauzitis. There's no more fighting around, as we said. Karina's getting very close to Warnders. Maybe this fight a little bit closer, and there's also no, it's not Lopez, so blue flag, I think that is 3rd place, Pedro Lopez. It is Pedro Lopez. Kirinos and Wonders are right there fighting it. Blue and black, Moronta versus the grey and blue C4s, and very close they are. Closing into Wonders, he's exiting the corner. He makes it. Wonders is now behind Kirinos, and as he lets through Lopez, down to 9th. 19.5 seconds ahead of Pablo Lopez. Gilhood and Morno 1.5 seconds. Into the boot they go. I'm really losing out of what to say because it's been a long race, 1 hour. And we still have 9 laps, well, almost a little bit more than 8 laps to go. It's been a long race today. Paying off because we have a very good fight to watch here. Here he is, looking at Gilhood behind Murno. Can they go now? Gilhood gaining a little bit of time? No, he isn't. Still maintaining the 1.5 second gap as they lap Pablo Lopez again. Antonio Isaías has DNF'd, by the way. That's another position for everyone who is behind him. And that's going to be another pain points position for the ones behind him, as I said. Richard Warners is back ahead of Quirinos. By the way, we've missed that one. Guys are fighting even closer than the top two. They have some slow cars ahead where, well, it's Emros and then Lopez, but you know, Emros is lapped. He'll get out of the way soon. Behind Warners stays Quirinos for now. Image goes again. Back of him is Quirinos looking for a gap to go through to launch his car. Warners has lost the position. And very quiet goes Quirinos, very weird lines as he, well, Warner's trying to take a point and action goes into the wall. Said weird lines from Quirinos. Burka is behind in 11th, behind Lopez, well, not behind, but 1 minute behind Lopez. Back to the front, Gilhood, 1.7 seconds, and he's got a few lapped cars ahead. That's Douglas, I think. Douglas, who gets lapped again. And 1.7 seconds, Murno seems to be getting away with the win on track. Because of course there was that incident with Laszlo Teglas throughout the middle of the race. While he was lapping the Hungarian driver. And he pretty much took him out. So we'll have Stewart's having a look at that probably. Might see a different winner when the final results come out. Of course, final results will be confirmed to you spectators. Unless you are in the Discord group. They will be confirmed on the next round. This April 5th in Sonoma. Championship 16 rounds long. Starts today in Watkins Glen. It will end around November the 15th. Laguna Seca. It was going through a lot of American heritage, motorsport heritage tracks. We're going for round 11 in September, for round 13 in October. We're going to Toronto in Canada and Australia Surface Paradise, respectively. So we'll have a little bit of fun Outside America. Action. Right now the action is in Watkins Glen. And Lucas Moore is still that 1.5 seconds ahead of Sven Gilhood. Amazing race these two guys have given us. But it's coming to an end. Penultimate corner for Moore, no, penultimate corner of the lap. And the gap stays the same. They're having pretty much similar lap times probably. And now they cross the line. 5 laps to go now. 5 laps remaining. 34. 30.4 by Murno, 30.3 by Gilhood. 1/10 quicker this last lap by Gilhood. Checking out the spectators here on YouTube. Have anything to tell me? Ask for it. I'm going to check if there's any more fighting as Frau pits again. Final stages of the race. Lopez down in 10th. 1 minute behind Wonders, 1 minute ahead of Verka. As happens to Verka himself. Frau has finished his pit stop already. It was a quick pit stop, quick one. Now he's up into still in 7th, would I say. I don't think he's got uptaken by Kirinos. No, he hasn't. Maybe Kirinos gets the run that Murno got when Sven came out of the pits. 8/10 is now the gap. Sven getting closer. Starting to push. 5 laps to go. Well, almost 4 now. Final corner to go. Very close to getting Sven. Probably going to try and get a move done. Less than 3/10 is the gap into the chicane, not the final chicane, the normal chicane. He's very close. He's gained a little bit. Maybe now Lucas Moore is trying to save a little bit of fuel, a little bit of tires. Because Sven pitting on lap 35. He's got no such problem. Down the inside goes to try and go. Tries to go. Sven. They're getting close to Wonders. As he tries to go again around the inside, very close. These two guys are trying to take a slipstream now. No, he isn't. He lets Murno take the inside line as Murno goes back to the normal line and they have to switch. Loses a little bit the back end. Sven Gilhood. And he stays behind for another few corners. Let's see if he can do anything in the main straight. But right now they stay again as they were. First Murno, then Sven Gilhood. Sven, who shouldn't take any risks considering there might be that investigation, but better to have it on track. And down the inside goes Sven Gilhood. He's made it stick. He's going through on the straight. But Murno comes back on the corner, around the outside, and now they've got Wonders to give slipstream to Murno, so he needs Wonders to get off the way quickly. Or Murno can get away, and he seems like he's got away with it. A little bit of slipstream taken. Wonders lets them through cleanly. And onto the chicane they go again on board with Sven. We've been now for a lap. 3 laps to go. Well, less than 3 laps now. Sven trying to find a way to go through. He's seen that waiting for a mistake is not the way to go. And with such a small time left, the race, 48 laps this season, we're on lap 46. Into turn number 11, leaving a little bit of a gap again. Very close these two guys are. Is he going to try to make a move? The outside, no he isn't. Very far again now, 5/10, half a second is the gap. Into the penultimate lap they're going to go, penultimate corner of this lap now again. Very good lines from Murno, but he's got the tires on the worst status probably. And on to the main straight they go again. Gilhood going to take the slipstream. Should wait for the back straight because he knows Murno brakes later here and he maintains the position. He left enough gap for Sven to have kept it down the inside, but now he's going to get the slipstream into the back straight, down the east, well, up the S's they go, and Sven Gilhood might take the advantage here. He doesn't give him the slipstream, switches from one side to another to defend, doesn't leave any space on the left side of the track, on the outside, and goes still ahead. Lucas Murno, as Gilhood has to stay behind for another lap probably, and this is the penultimate lap. He needs to go through if he wants to win on track. He needs to go through as soon as possible. Into turn number 10 they go. Very close for the back. Around 4 tenths. 3 tenths is the gap. Very, very, very close. He's taking the slipstream into turn number 12. He launches a move down the inside, loses a little bit of the back end, and he's made it through. No, he isn't, because Lucas Murno makes a switch back. He was down the outside. He's come back around the inside and into the final lap. They're going to go without knowing where they're going to finish. This is going to be an amazing final lap. They're both very close. And Sven is going to try and get the slipstream again. Murno switches to the inside to not give him the slipstream. He's going to go defensive. He doesn't work, or not as he would have wanted, because Sven takes the inside anyways. Side by side into turn number 1. They exit that first corner very, very close together. Sven lifts off a little bit to get the slipstream. Up the S they go again for one final time racing. Into the back straight. Sven has to go down the outside into the chicane. But that's not going to be really possible. Less than a tenth separating them both. As Murno makes a mistake. Murno makes a mistake and lets Sven through. Murno had the inside, tried to take it too quick, and has lost the lead of the race. And that's going to probably be the win for Sven. Unless the lapped car ahead, which is Max Verker, can do anything against it. It was going to be a very exciting final lap. But it looks like that mistake from Lucas Murno has set it for Sven. Amazing final lap, but it could have been more amazing without Murno's mistake, as Verker lets Gilhood through very cleanly. And right now, Sven, you can see here the IVRC driver. He's won 2 races in 2020. He's won not 2 but 4 races in 2020 or more, maybe 5 with Daytona. Round the final corner in the Glen he goes. And he wins the opening round of the 2020 OWC Championship. He wins it. With Murno, Lucas Murno finishing in 2nd. Max Verker was 11th. And also Richard Wonders in 9th. Pedro Lopez is still finishing the race. He's up in 3rd. Very good debut for Pedro Lopez here in IVRC. Very good from the Brazilian driver for Bravo. Jerry Gauditis 4th. And Lucas Miranda. Andrade also finishing right now. Frau Quirinos. Wonders has finished. And he's up in 9th. Kind of celebrating maybe. He's gained 6 places. He was starting 15th. Very good to survive this race. And yeah, Pedro Lopez has crossed the line already, but we're going to look at this because Carlos Frau finishes 7th. Quirinos is 8th, and now Lopez finishes 10th. Carlos Frau 7th. Finishing. I don't think everyone's finished now. Werner Emros was yet to finish, and he's finished the race now. And our race winner, Sven Gilhood for IVRC, the Swedish team. Around 5th or 6th win of the season for them, and it's all come with Sven. Sven giving them happy times. Is he going to make some donuts in the first race? some donuts from Gauzetis in 4th. Home race, well, it's going to be home race for him throughout the season a lot. He's stopped the car. He's going to make a little bit of donuts. The Dutch driver starts the season with a bang. Making some donuts and celebrating what is the first win of the season, first winner of the OWC Championship here in IVRC. Very good from Sven. That was a very exciting drive between Murno and Sven. That was very good indeed. These two guys have given us a big day today. Very entertaining race. Of course, I hope you guys have enjoyed this race. It was amazing. Amazing fight. He's still making donuts. He's got enough tires, I think. He pitted on lap 35. Yeah, he's got 3 extra laps of what most people did, and now he's got them so hot he can't even pit. That's what happens when you make so many donuts, my friend. Going into the pits now. I'm gonna try and catch him as soon as possible. He's around. He's not around. He's not around, sadly. I'm gonna try and get it. So it's been a very interesting race. We're going to revise the finishing orders. Van Gilhood has won the race with Lucas Mourning in 2nd, then Pedro Lopez, Joe Gausset in 4th, and then Lucas Miranda. And 6th is Andrew Lady for OS Front Row. Very good race for them. Most of them. Then Carlos Ferrao in 7th, just pitting. Quirinos in 8th. Richard Wonders, Pablo Lopez in 10th. Burka in 11th, and John McDonald, Bernard Emros, Laszlo Teglas in 14th, and Antonio Isaias in 15th, the first of the 11 DNFs, which continue with Michael Tickman, Alfie Bevan, Angel Gonzalez, Francisco Vasquez, Jonathan Holohan, Jonatas Berto, Felipe Muniz, Kenneth Ragland, Oscar Evers Johnson, and Saulius Laurenavicius. Been a very good race, and it looks like I can't catch Sven for an interview. So I think this is going to be most of it. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching this race, and the next week is going to be a little bit of a break in IVRC, so next week there will be no action. However, we'll be back with some more action in TCC and OWC 2 weeks time. Until then, guys, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the race as much as I did, and bye bye.